Hello and welcome. I will be answering WAEC 2020 Economics Objective Past Question 1. Which of the following is central to the definition of economics? A. Resources, B. Wants, C. Scarcity, D. Capital. So first, let's look at the definition of economics. So the widely accepted definition of economics was given by Lionel Robbins, and he defined economics as the science which studies human behavior as a relationship between ends and scarce means which have alternative uses. So in this definition, let us underline scarce means. Now, scarce means refers to limited available resources. And to paraphrase this, scarcity. So scarcity is a central part of the definition of economics because there would be no economic problem if resources were not scarce. So if resources were not scarce, or if there was no limited availability of resources, there will be no economic problems, and hence there will be no economics. So the idea of scarcity is very, very important, and it is central. You can say it's central to the definition of economics. It is due to this reason that economics is sometimes defined as the study of scarcity. So as we have rightly established, option C, which is scarcity, is the answer to this question. Thank you, and please subscribe to this channel for more videos and for more past questions and answers. Hello and welcome. I will be answering WAEC 2020 Economics Objective Past Question 2. When the production possibility curve shifts outwards, the economy experiences A. Growth, B. Overproduction, C. Inefficient use of resources, D. Underproduction. Now, a production possibility curve, abbreviated as PPC, is a graph, refers to a graph or a curve showing the possible combinations of different commodities that can be produced in a given economy. Now, there's a condition, and this condition, given the level of technology, given the prevailing level of technology, if all available productive resources are efficiently utilized. So as we have stated here, it is just a curve that shows possible combinations of various commodities that can be produced, right? That can be produced based on the prevailing level of technology, and if all productive resources are utilized efficiently. Now, in a production possibility curve, there are two ways it could shift. It could shift outward. It could also shift inward. Now, when the PPC shifts outward, it means that output is increasing, and when it shifts inwards, it means that output is decreasing. So from the question, we're asked what happens when it shifts outwards, and we have established the fact that the output is increasing, likely to be overproduction of resources. So overproduction, option B, is the correct answer to this question. Thank you, and please subscribe to this channel for more videos and for more past questions and answers. And welcome. I will be answering WAEC 2020 Economics Objective Past Question 3. Land as a factor of production is made useful through the A. Application of human effort, B. Acts of nature, C. Application of fertilizer, D. Use of machines. Now, land as a factor of production, as it relates to economics, is defined as a free gift of nature. Okay, this means that land is not manufactured, but rather it is a free gift of nature. Now, what does it mean for land to be useful or land to be made useful? When land is made useful, it means it is efficiently utilized for the purpose of production. So that is when land can be said to be useful. Now, in order for land to be efficiently utilized for the purpose of production, human effort or human activities, so I would say human activities or effort, needs to be present. So humans must carry out activities on the land or must put effort into utilizing the land for the purpose of production in order for land to be made useful. So human activities or effort needs to be involved. So for that, you can say human activity needs to be applied. So application of human effort activity needs to be applied to land for it to be made useful. So option A says application of human effort. So as we have established, this is the correct answer to this question. Thank you, and please subscribe to this channel for more videos and for more past questions and answers. Hello and welcome. I will be answering WAEC 2020 Economics Objective Past Question 5. So you have a diagram here which is labeled as Figure 1. Now, the diagram in Figure 1 above depicts A. Simple bar chart, B. Complex bar chart, C. Components bar chart, D. Multiple bar chart. Now, the thing we know from this information and from the options given to us is that it is a kind of bar chart. And the bar chart is basically a statistical tool that represents data in rectangular bars. Now, the data given to you determines what kind of bar chart you use. Now, there are three kinds of bar charts. You have the simple bar charts, you have the component bar chart, and the multiple bar chart. Now, the simple bar chart is used when you have just one variable to represent. Let's say a variable like number or age or population, just one variable to represent in the chart. Then the component bar chart is used when you have two variables to represent. So you could have, let's say, things like number of males and females, or just two variables to represent. Then the third one, which is multiple bar chart, is when you have three or more variables to represent. So you draw multiple bars for the corresponding parts of whatever you want to represent. Now, from this diagram that we have here, we have just two variables represented, and this is a component bar chart. So the bars of a component bar chart look like this, okay, with two portions. One portion representing one variable and the other portion representing another variable. So as we have established, what we have here is a components bar chart, and components bar chart is option C, which is the correct answer to this question. Thank you, and please subscribe to this channel for more videos and for more past questions and answers.
Make every exam your moment with Chegg. Keep a study partner in your pocket with support customized to your courses, including expert-made practice tests, flashcards, step-by-step solutions.
Hello and welcome. I will be answering WAEC 2020 Economics Objective Past Question 6. So you have a figure here which is labeled Figure 2. And it shows change in demand for a commodity X, which is a normal good. Now, the question we have to use it to answer is, which of the following caused the change in demand from D1 to D2? A. Fall in the income of consumers. B. Rise in the price of a substitute. C. Rise in the price of a complement. D. Fall in the supply of commodity X. Now, this diagram represents or depicts what is known as a rightward shift in demand. A rightward shift in demand. And this is an increase. This depicts an increase in demand at a constant price. So the price remains constant, but the demand for that particular product or commodity increase. So we are asked what could be the cause of such change, such increase in demand. Now in this case, the increase in demand is brought about by a favorable change in factors affecting demand aside the price of the commodity. An example of some of these factors could include, let's say, this favorable change in factors could include increase in the income of consumers or increase in price of a substitute. Now, increase in income of consumers will increase the demand for this commodity because the consumers now have the purchasing power irrespective of the price. Like I said, the diagram represents this change in demand at constant price. So the price has not changed, okay? So the price hasn't changed. But because the income of the consumer has increased, they can now purchase this product. So the demand for it will increase. And now, another favorable factor we saw is the increase in price of a substitute. Now, when the price of a substitute increases, a substitute commodity increases, the consumers will go for the cheaper product. Okay, they will go for the cheaper product irrespective of the fact that the price of that product hasn't changed. But because the price of the substitute has increased, they will go for a cheaper commodity or a cheaper product that can still perform that same function that they want. So this also causes the demand curve, a rightward shift in the demand. Now, as we have established here, increase in price of a substitute is one of the factors that can cause a change in demand from D1 to D2 as shown in this diagram. So rise or increase in price of a substitute is option B, and option B is the correct answer to this question. Thank you, and please subscribe to this channel for more videos and for more past questions and answers. Hello and welcome. I will be answering WAEC 2020 Economics Objective Past Question 7. So you have a diagram here and you have some curves or some graphs. Now, the curves D0 D0 and S0 S0 are the initial demand and supply curves respectively. What happens when government provides subsidy to producers? A. The supply curve will shift from S0 S0 to S2 S2. B. The supply curve will shift from S0 S0 to S1 S1. C. The demand curve will shift from D0 D0 to D1 D1. D. The supply curve will shift from S1 S1 to S0 S0. So you have, let's locate the curves. So this is D0 D0 here. This is it here. So this is D0 D0. Okay. And then you have S0 S0. So this is it here. This line here. Now, we are asked, these two lines we have located, these curves we have located, we are told that these are the initial demand and supply curves. These are the initial demand and supply curves respectively. Now we are asked what happens when government provides subsidy to the producers. Now, as it relates to this, the supply curve, if government provides subsidy, the supply curve will shift from S0 S0 to S2 S2. Now this shift or this change indicates, I would say, due to an increase in supply. This occurs as a result of increase in supply, meaning that the supply curve, which is S0 S0, will shift to the right, and this indicates that this is an indication that at old price, more of the commodity is supplied. Now, this shift to the right is usually due to favorable change in factors affecting supply, e.g., provision of subsidy by the government. So what happens is that once the government provides subsidy, the cost of production of this commodity will reduce, and hence the producers will be able to provide more or be able to produce more of these products, due to this subsidy. And if they're able to produce more of the product, it means that the supply of the product in the market will increase, and that is why the curve will shift to the right, or shift from S0 S0, that is this one, to S2 S2. So as we have rightly established, the supply curve will. Thank you, and please subscribe to this channel for more videos and for more past questions and answers. Hello and welcome.
Actions matter more than words. Inclusion starts with all of us taking action.
I'm glad to be working with companies like Master.
I will be answering WAEC 2020 Economics Objective Past Question 8. So you have this figure represented here, and it is labeled as Figure 4. Now in Figure 4 above, YZ represents A. Excess demand, B. Excess supply, C. Equilibrium quantity, D. Equilibrium price. So in this figure, this graph, you have a demand curve and a supply curve plotted together on the same price quantity axis. So this is the supply curve and this is the demand curve. So they are plotted on the same price quantity axis. And we are asked what this portion, this YZ, so YZ is this portion. What does it represent? Now, the YZ portion represents excess supply. This portion on the graph represents excess supply. And the point where these two curves intersect is known as the equilibrium price. And this portion below the equilibrium price, is referred to as excess demand or shortage. So we have established that YZ, this portion here, line YZ, represents excess supply, and excess supply is option B, which is the correct answer to this question. Thank you, and please subscribe to this channel for more videos and for more past questions and answers. Hello and welcome. I will be answering WAEC 2020 Economics Objective Past Question 9. Goods are described as inferior if their demand A. decreases as price falls, B. increases as income rises, C. decreases as income increases, D. increases as price increases. Now, this is more or less asking us for the definition of an inferior good. And an inferior good is an economic term that describes a good whose demand drops or reduces or decreases, when people's income increases. Now, if the demand of a good decreases when people's income is increasing, then that good is said to be inferior. Now, this is because it's an indication that there is superior competition. There is superior competition which the consumers are choosing. So it means that the consumers are choosing superior products due to the fact that their income is increasing. So as their income is increasing, they are going for substitutes that they feel are better because they can now afford them. So based on this description, you can say the good is inferior when its demand drops as the income of the consumers increase. So as we have rightly established, a good is described as inferior if their demand decreases as income increases. That is option C, which is the correct answer to this question. Thank you, and please subscribe to this channel for more videos and for more past questions and answers. Hello and welcome. I will be answering WAEC 2020 Economics Objective Past Question 10. When A. his market supply is equal to his market's demand, B. he maximizes from spending his income, C. the market is also in equilibrium, D. he has consumed all he wants. Now, this concept is known as consumer equilibrium. And consumer equilibrium is a situation